Hey, what's going on, guys? CGOD back again on the Ultra Classic. Today, a little bit of a stereo upgrade. As you can see, we've got our Sony DSX-M80, baby, putting out 400 watts or 100 watts per channel, whatever you want to call it. We're also going to be throwing these 6.5 Rockfords in there using these adapters here. And the stereo itself coming from Note Cycles, shout out for them. Basically comes all wired up, ready to go, out of the box, you know what I mean? And we're going to be using this here to allow us to retain our handlebar controls. So, should be pretty simple. I've already got the bike torn apart, as you guys have seen, you know what I'm saying? But we have our factory stereo and everything still intact. I haven't even started on it at all. But should be fairly simple, like I said. It's basically plug and play. Just unbolt this, bolt a new one in, plug it in, and it's basically ready to go. So, other than that, the speakers themselves, I don't know exactly how it's going to work with the little adapters and whatnot. But I'll tell you one thing, we're going to get it figured out, you know what I mean? So, basically to remove the stereo, obviously we're going to remove all these connectors. You know, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and the antenna here. So, should be pretty simple. There's a bunch of other videos online also, you know, if you want more detailed instructions. But basically, it's got a couple of Allens right in here, you know. So you just got to get those loosened up, and then these will have little torques, you know what I'm saying, and we'll get it popping. So I'm going to go ahead and start removing some of the old stuff, and once we go ahead and get some of that stuff figured out, you know what I'm saying, then we're going to go ahead and get it popping with the new stuff. I'll go ahead and open all this stuff, that way you can see it after I get it all pulled apart, and I'll bring you guys right back, alright? So we basically finished removing the old speakers as well as the stereo. Here is the Metra adapter pieces, right? So basically, as you can see, it doesn't use the fourth hole. It only mounts up with the 3 that the original speakers use. The original speakers, they appear to be, you know, they're stuck in that little plastic piece that holds it. But basically, boys, here's our Rockford 6.5s. So my 6x9s that I have back here are 2 ohm. These ones are 4 ohm. But I mean, I think it'll be alright. You know what I mean? Because they're not rated for as much power as the 6x9s are. So hopefully we don't have an issue with mixing the ohms. You know what I mean? I did reuse my factory Ultra Classic, you know, because originally over there, as you could see, it came with some little speakers here and here, and I ran that wiring over to the 6x9s. So here we have it. This is removed, as you can see, removed. If you watched the previous video also, I had broke this yellow wire. So as you could see, the yellow wire for the handlebars is now bypassed, you know what I mean? And it's heat shrinked and all that good stuff. It should be solid, I hope. Hopefully it doesn't ever have any issues. But basically to remove them, it's just a couple of T25 Torx, or actually a few, per each side. These are the original bolts, and they were a bit difficult to get out. Not difficult in the sense of like I had to do anything, but like physically like hard, you know. These long ones especially, due to like how deep they were mounted in the fairing plastic. So, but I mean, it's not terrible. If you use like a little driver or a drill or whatever, I'm sure it would come out easy. But I just didn't want to break it, so I did it by hand. But basically, for as far as I'm seeing, this here plastic Metra adapter piece is simply just going to come over here. And as you could see on our inner fairing, we're going to be using this, and this will basically just sit inside of there like so. Clearance is indeed pretty tight, but it shouldn't be too bad. And then, I mean, obviously it's just going to be bigger. I think I'm going to remove these braces due to the fact that I'm not going to be able to, or actually I might still be able to bolt it there. It doesn't even want to like reach no more, but it was in there. I might put it back in there. But if it interferes with our adapter piece, probably just going to fully remove this It does hold a couple of wire harnesses. I attached the throttle connector to it, and this piece and this piece go to our lamps and turn signals. So, I mean, but they're very easy to remove. It literally just like, that one's already off. Sorry, I'm trying to do it like basically one-handed. But yeah, like I said, it comes off fairly easy. You just kind of have to pull them a certain direction and they'll come off. So there, that one is off. And then this one, same thing. I believe they just pop forward. But basically, they just have these little pins. And that little pin just snugs into there. So, yeah, those will come off real easy. It's just kind of like a brace. But, I mean, I guess thug life, you know what I mean? We're just going to send it. But I'm going to get these bolted up. And what I plan to do is reuse the factory Harley grills. You know, because I feel like they look clean. And obviously, we're not going to be able to use these bad boys. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just not going to work. One thing to note, I did order this setup off of eBay. The Rockford 6.5s and the Metra adapters came as a kit. And like I said, these are 4 ohm instead of 2 ohm like the original speakers. But one thing to note is your positive and negatives are opposite sized, right? So the positive is a bigger terminal, and then the negative is a smaller terminal, right? Little spades. So whenever we come over here, I may have to modify the wiring, because over here the negative terminal is the bigger spade and the positive is the smaller one. Now the 6.5s came with wiring already. You know what I mean? So it's already got some spades on here, you know, for if you wanted to wire it, and it's got some mounting screws and stuff. But the Metra harness, or the Metra kit, also came with screws. So I don't know which ones to use, but either way, whichever ones, I'll probably use these ones to mount the speakers, due to the fact that, or actually, I don't know. Would I still use the long ones? Because this one required long ones because it had to go through that thick piece of plastic before it mounted to the fairing, whereas these are going to be just like right there. So I may use these to mount the adapter pieces, as these came with the adapters, and then I'll use the screws included with the speakers to mount those to the adapters. But it should be fairly easy. Adapters go in first, obviously, and then we're going to go ahead and bolt up the speakers. But whenever you're doing this, you also have to simultaneously put the covers in. So let me kind of give you an idea. So like, as you can see, the cover itself has, like, you could tell where it had screws here and here, and down here didn't have anything. But either way, they basically just like pop in, you know what I mean? So that'll just sit there, and then we should be able to line it up and get our screws for our adapter piece in. And then that'll also help for us to be able to keep them equal, you know, like the positioning of them. So pretty simple stuff. I'm going to get the speakers installed and then probably have to redo some wiring, and I'll bring you guys back after that and we'll get started on installing this stereo. So here we got our 6.5 Rockfords, baby, installed A1, you know what I mean? So basically, I ended up clipping off the original harness, and I spliced in the wires that came with the speakers, you know what I mean? Just because I didn't have any of these the smaller spades. I didn't have any smaller spade terminals, you know what I mean? So blame me if you like, but there it is. Positive to positive and negative to negative. Now, I mean, it looks pretty legit, you know what I mean? I did a mechanical crimp on the wires, added electrical tape, and then heat shrinked them. So, I mean, same with the other side. Pretty firme if you ask me, you know what I mean? So these 6.5s are ready to make some noise now. We're going to go ahead and move on to the stereo itself. Let me go ahead and move these speaker grills out of the way. Oh yeah, and like I said, we retained our factory look here, you know, because I plan to keep all the little chrome accents and whatnot, because, you know, why not? One thing to note, or that I ended up doing, so our these little braces for the fairing, they don't necessarily line up, but it basically like mounts the speaker in the same spot. So I went ahead and left the brace, even though it's not like connected to anything, just for the fact that I'm pretty sure, you know, the fairing needs the brace, or else why would they put it there? You know what I mean? So I just went ahead and tightened up our little socket head bolt. You know what I'm saying? Because like you could see, like there's nowhere to even attach it. I did put the speakers upside down because I wanted the connections up top instead of like down here where this brace would be at, you know? So you could probably run them to the side or whatever you want to do, but I figured like that would be the easiest. And these bolted on with 4 screws. So I mean, you could see in the corners there, there's one there, one there, one there, and one there. Same with the other side. So it's very stout, you know what I mean? They're mounted on there really good. Now, time to move on to our DSX-M80. So for this, try to unbox it while you guys are watching me. Might get a little shy, huh? Imagine I just drop it. What up, mommy? What up, mommy? You chilling?
It's my baby!
Oh, yeah! Alright, guys, so basically, here's this. I wonder what I did with the harnesses. That's kind of scary. So I'm going to go ahead and look for all my stuff. It may be in here. Hopefully. Oh, yeah, they're all in there. So let me take this out of the wrap, and then we'll get it started, alright? So here we've got the stereo itself. And like I said, it's basically already pre-wired, plug and play. You know, you just plug it into your existing harness, and she's ready to go. It's got that one. It's got the bigger one. It's got this USB cable that I'm not going to use, but I guess is going to stay in the back of the radio, because, yeah. Other than that, it also has this piece pre-wired. This right here, the only reason that this harness piece is here is for the rear speakers, you know. So this is what's going to send power to our rear speakers here. But looks like it's basically ready. It comes with some spacers, which I may or may not be able to find right now. And then it also comes with these new bolts, so I may use those. I've also seen where people reuse them, so not a big deal, but if the stereo doesn't fit snug, they have these little spacers, you know what I mean? But for the most part, the only important thing, as far as I know, is you're supposed to power on the radio before you plug in your handlebar controller, because I don't know exactly how it works, to be honest with you, but somehow through this module it'll allow me to be able to still turn up and down the music, you know, as well as change the song through the other one. So that should be cool. But basically it comes ready to go. I don't know if I'm supposed to remove this, but it's kind of stuck on there really good. But it's got some vents, you know, or maybe it's just supposed to vent through the bottom, I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and shove it in there. It's also got like a remote wire and stuff, you know, if you have auxiliary amps. It's got a bunch of RCAs, you know what I mean? So it's ready for some serious audio. And then this thing is like kind of plugged in there. So I'm going to go ahead and try to fit it in there. You want to just make sure that your little rubber gasket is in there, in place good. That way it seals nicely and you don't get any water where you don't want it, basically. But it looks ready to go, like I said. So I'm going to go ahead and shove it up in there and see if I need the little spacers or not, but I probably won't need them, hopefully. And then from there we're gonna go ahead and bolt it in, and it's as simple as plug and play, boys. All right, buddy boys, so there you have it, installed so far anyways. Couple couple of things. This was installed also. I don't know exactly what it's for, but it did not have a place to plug into. So, but it did go in fairly easy, bolted up. I don't know. I'm gonna go to BT Audio. Let me try and connect my phone. We'll see if we can get it doing something, all right? Okay, boys, so as you can see, you're not trying to get copyright, but she's bumping. It's definitely louder, I believe. I haven't actually, you know, rode the bike or nothing, seeing as how we don't got no bike. But I did change the color, you know. It sounds real good, though, the 6.5s. They'll probably sound better also once we put the fairing cover on. But, I mean, she's bumping for now, I'll tell you that much. Pretty happy with it so far. Like I said, I just powered it on the first time, so I don't even know. But it's looking good, boys. I'm going to try and power up this little module and see if we can get it juking.
The whole team, hot walls closing in. Niggas can't tell me shit about this dope gang, about this cocaine, man. Gotta seen it all. Young stacks 7 feet tall. Swear it looks white like a wall. What you know about thumbing through the 100s, 20s, and the 50s, spin the 10s and the 5s.
Okay, Playboys. So, stereo installation is complete. We got working audio and able to change the song. You know what I mean? So I don't even need to have my phone mounted up here. None of that silly stuff, you know? She is banging. I still kind of want to somehow find a way to get the clock to work. Or for it to just say the clock. Does that make sense? But it is what it is. I'm going to clean up the wiring. You know what I mean? And we'll see what it do. But for now, baby, that's going to be it. As you can see, we got the speakers mounted. We got the stereo installed. Everything is juking. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned, baby. Later.